I've seen a flying saucer.
You've seen one?
Yes, definitely.
Unidentified aerial phenomena.
To cover up our mistakes.
I've met people who swear they've seen Bigfoot.
Join us for a journey into the obscure.
You are now listening to The Wow Pod.
Well, welcome to the show. The practice run was Facebook's fault. Completely. Yeah. But tonight we have Nayt Morgan and Lindsey Ricochet.
Yes.
Apparently that's not a real last name, but she's got a cool...
Listen, I'm choosing mine as we speak, all right? What's my new last name going to be?
I don't know. I mean, I could think of probably some stuff that you wouldn't like. Anyhow, but so now, Nayt, you're the guy who started
it, founded it.
The Hidden Realms Paranormal, everything else, and we are sharing this to Hidden Realms, so your fans and all that will be able to see you. Tell us some good scary stories today.
Oh, but first, tell us about yourselves. Okay.
Yes. Yeah,
one at a time.
Yeah, let's lead in. Nayt,
who are you?
Yeah, what got you into paranormal?
Yeah, and how do you end up where you're at?
So it all started with a story that I can tell.
Yep, bring the mic in nice and close.
A little better?
Yeah.
So it started with me at my old house. As I'm kind of falling asleep, I had
How old?
stairs. I was probably 12 or 13.
Okay, so child.
I saw from the waist down like a dress. It was like a blue or ethereal like fog and everything. And I saw the shoes, the dress take one step down and then just poof.
So you saw like the form of a dress and shoes.
From the waist down, just like a dress. Saw it take
so
one
it was like
step.
a floating dress.
Yes.
Or a...
No person
an
inside?
Unfloating person.
I could see the kind of the legs, but I saw the shoes, I saw the dress, and it was like a really light blue kind of fog.
Really?
Took one step down and poof, and that's the beginning of what got me into it.
So the dress, was the dress kind of see-through, opaque?
It was kind of see-through and opaque, and I could see kind of the details in that, so I was curious because I thought I knew who it was. So I asked my mother, because she would know if it was, and I think it was my really great aunt who passed away in like 91.
Really?
And that was the kind of stuff that she was wearing, and that was her house too.
Really? And then when it disappeared, did it like poof out or poof away?
It just kind of diminished, just
like
slowly
dematerialized.
There you go. That's what I was looking for.
All right. Glad I haven't seen any of that. Good times. So now, when did you start exploring ghost hunts and all that?
I think after high school, that's when I started really looking for teams. And I wasn't too successful until I finally found one team that didn't do too well. But it took me a few teams to say I'm making my own, but it's a hard thing to explain.
So you're the Hannibal, right?
Yes.
So you like start gathering the team. You got to get Face and Mr. T and gather the team.
Took me a second. I didn't understand your...
Do you guys understand yet?
I can pretend I understand.
It's the A-team.
The
Hannibal,
A-team took me a second.
Hannibal gets Face and Mr. T and...
You're aging yourself, Jared.
The helicopter guy.
Yeah.
That's her.
You're the helicopter guy.
Okay, so after that, any other... Or was that just kind of piqued your interest?
That first story was exactly the one that said I need to get into this. So while I was waiting to get into teams, I was reading on it, watching everything I could.
Kind of just studying up and...
Exactly.
Oh, anything else beyond that before you started working in teams? Did you ever do any investigating like on your own?
I did little ghost hunts, if you want to call them, with just a few friends that like what was that park that you said before we got in?
Memorial Grove.
Memory Grove is where my first one was, and
So you guys, as friends, would just kind of, hey, let's go check this out. No tools, no equipment, maybe a flashlight and some eagerness.
flashlight and a camera.
So if the ghost was to pop out, you might get a picture. See, I wouldn't get a picture because I don't know how good you are over the shoulder as you haul ass out of there. But
I'm too slow to haul ass, so I'd be stuck there.
that's where you trip someone else.
That's right. All you got to be is faster than someone else.
Okay, that's my next one.
That's right.
So your first ghost or your first team, how was it? It would have been your first experience, actually.
Yeah, for an actual team, they were pretty well set up, and we've done places like Asylum 49. We went to the Peary Hotel. We went to the Ogden train station, which that's my favorite place.
Is it?
Oh,
Nice.
Lots of cool history there.
I don't know.
Stories too for that one. I got plenty of stories. I can keep on going.
I don't know anything about that.
But that's the first.
Currently, there's a restaurant in there that has the best bread pudding in, I would say, the United States.
Yeah. Okay.
I used to stop there for that alone.
Wow.
Yep.
Good to know.
Not for me. I shouldn't know this.
I know. I should not know that.
Well, you don't need to know, but I need to know.
I would drive through and I would call them and say, okay, I'm about 10 minutes out. And they knew exactly
Get
what I
that
wanted.
pudding ready.
I would get my bread pudding with the caramel. I don't know if it's a caramel sauce but it's delicious. Best bread pudding.
All right. Well.
Yeah. But I don't know anything about the ghosts there.
Yeah.
So, first team, how many teams have you been on?
This is my third team that I started. So
So
I've been on
this-
2 prior teams before that.
And did you start the other 2 as well? So this is the one you started. You took the knowledge, and in my head that song is playing now. Dun dun dun. Dun, dun, dun. It's just playing. But anyway, so you said, I want to do a more focused build or whatever, and you. Now, how did you find teammates?
So I first started with one friend before, but he stepped down from the team. So it's how we first started it is me and him just decided to talk about it and kind of figure out names and then see how we wanted to. So I just said, you know what, I'm just going to go on the Facebook Utah Paranormal page and just say I'm looking for members.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, do you have any what do we call it, sensibilities to?
Yeah, any gifts? Are you gifted?
So I do a psychic medium. I read with pendulum. I'm learning rune stones and tarots, and
Okay.
so kind of.
So, but so you're learning. Well, you may have had the latent ability, but you're unlocking it.
I'm still unlocking it. I get bits and pieces, almost like I have to put a puzzle together. I don't get like one.
Yeah, I wonder if anybody ever really gets, or if you just learn to.
Well, I'll tell you who probably will never get.
You don't even get the bits and pieces.
Yeah, I'm so far out of the loop.
I wonder if you just get better at, like, on the fly, putting the puzzle together.
I mean, I slowly am. I used to have to use my pendulum. Now I've got to the point where I don't need to. It just pops in, and I know that's the one.
Wow. All right, Lindsay, tell us about yourself.
Yeah.
I'm Lindsay. I've been on the team. I don't know.
I thought you've been on since almost the beginning.
No.
No? Shows how much I pay attention.
Bobby
already.
invited me.
So probably half the time.
Now,
Yeah.
sorry about the sound on Lindsay. I'm gonna try to make.
It's not too bad.
I'm gonna try to make her sound a.
A little bit better. Just kidding.
Yeah, that might be it. A little more feminine, even though I don't know. Okay. Well, she's using a lapel mic, and so.
Yeah. So, what was your first experience with paranormal?
So, I've had a couple. My daughter, her father's parents' house, she's experienced certain things where she'd walk into the basement and go to her room, which was the spare bedroom, and she saw an apparition of a guy with red
How
glowing eyes.
old?
She was 4, 5 at the time.
Oh.
That's terrifying.
And she came running back upstairs 5 minutes after, explaining, Mom, I just saw this guy down there with glowing red eyes. And so I went down there, and I'm like, this Skylar, was he standing right here? And I walked right where she was where she was pointing. She's like, yeah. I was like, is he still there? She's like, no. So that, or I lived in Bountiful, and these, I want to say they're not condos, they're townhomes, or they're condos, one of the two, but they're like really older, and there's like a cemetery and then some apartments, and it was like on Main Street, I want to say. But me and my ex went to sleep, and after we went to bed, 30 minutes later, we heard a big boom, 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 like someone was banging. Come to find out,
On the door or in the house?
somewhere in the house or on the front door. He went and checked everywhere, nothing.
Oh.
So, it's been like with those experiences, and me, like, I'm a ghost adventures person. I like watching it. So that's what piqued my interest of paranormal and coming into the whole, I want to be on a team.
Okay, yeah.
So here I am, and
Here she is.
yeah.
Do you have any abilities or?
I'm trying to see if I have any. I've been working with the pendulum and tarot cards.
Okay,
So,
good.
yeah, trying to see if I can unlock something.
Good.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Well, a lot of
Everyone we've
tarot
talked to,
card seems to be a learned.
it's about interpretation.
Yeah.
and intuition. Moon had a lot of intuition when she did it, and it's a good thing to learn.
I know right now I can tell I am an empath. I can read people when they're upset or when they're having a hard time. I know for a fact how they're feeling. So I have some of that, but I want to dive deeper and see what else there is.
Well, yeah, you want to see beyond just the
Yeah.
material people, because you may have a large perception for interpersonal humness. I don't even have that.
Absolutely.
I'm so lost.
So how many people are on your current team? And then explain to us, like, does everyone have like a responsibility, so to
Got
speak?
the helicopter pilot. You've got the guy that wears the masks and lures the ladies out. You've got the driver, Mr. T, my favorite.
Last I checked, I was the one that drove the helicopter, right?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
So we're already
I'm the helicopter
identified.
pilot.
Hannibal,
Okay.
helicopter pilot. Okay.
Then
Okay.
Sarah and Ryan, they're on our team. Sarah is one of the co-founders.
Yep.
So she
Now the helicopter pilot's a crazy person.
can be kind of crazy.
Okay.
I guess.
Sometimes you just gotta own it.
Now Mr.
I'm owning
T,
it.
Mr. T brings the van.
There you go.
So
You're bringing the van. You're Mr. T.
Now we're gonna have to make them T-shirts that look like the A-Team, but it says Hidden Realms.
There you
yeah,
go.
that'd be
Ah.
yeah. Got me thinking about some stuff. So and then you guys mix and match with other teams at the same time,
Yeah,
right?
we can do that and work with other teams as well. And
Like you work with the paranormal girls.
Yep.
Okay. And so you guys, I guess it's whoever has the specialty to go on these investigations, not just investigations, but you guys go and help out homeowners who are experiencing hard
Yeah.
times.
What?
Yeah.
Give us a breakdown. Types of investigations you do. Like, are they primarily homeowners, or are
so
they?
the homeowner ones, as we mentioned, is strictly Mary and Jennifer, the paranormal girls. They they're also on our team, so they have their own team and ours, and they're kind of like the house
Okay.
people, if I can't even get the word out right, but
They're the ones that
specialists
do
in
the.
homes.
Okay.
Okay.
And so you guys normally do people just say, "Hey, come check out this spot"?
we can have people find us and say, "Here, try this out," or
Because, for instance, we're setting it up for you guys to come out, and it was the first schoolhouse built in Grantsville. It's now a museum, but it's kind of, I mean, I don't know what year it was built. I was just there. He told us, I think 1806 or
18
something.
whenever.
And it's the Donner Reed Museum. So not only is the building historic, but it's got tons of artifacts in there from the Donner Party. What was left over after, they started to cannibalize one another going
crazy.
across.
Well, okay,
That'd be
now
a neat one.
the parts we got was before they ate each other.
Yeah.
Before they resorted to eating each other, I should say, and be respectful. As they went to Pilot Peak, they were crossing an 80-mile salt flat, and they weren't making time, so they ditched their wagons. So they went out and dug up some of the wagons, and there's even some parts from the Tetons, maybe at their campsite, but it's an old historic building in Grantsville.
Yeah, got tons of history, lots of cool things in there. There's a couple of outbuildings that have been relocated there. There's actually the original jail cell from Grantsville City that
I know
used
it
to be
sounds
down.
fancy, but I don't think it'd be legal to put a dog in it right now.
Yeah, no, but it's pretty cool because they actually used to put people in it,
Yeah.
you know, drunk and disorderly and things like
Most
that.
of it was drunks, yeah.
So is that how you normally get investigations? Is people call and say, you got to check this out?
That's one way we get them, or we even have people
Or-
that are called scouts.
That go out and look for
They'll
'em?
go look for places, email them, call them.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what is your intended purpose for these ghost hunts? Just to explore?
Just to explore, get more evidence, just to see what else is out there, because there's more that we have not seen yet.
Okay, and
And
do you find that you're still like surprised by things?
Still.
It's crazy.
You still hear a voice and you still freeze for a minute, and then let's go see what it is.
Yeah, that makes the hair on my arm stand up. No.
Now,
Sorry.
something with the mic started doing a scratchy noise.
Yeah, I had to move it.
Cycle it off and on again.
How do I do that?
Oh, you're good.
Oh, hey, we figured it out.
Cool.
Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
It's your head. Oh, it might. You know what? It's probably the headphones.
Maybe.
Could just
Yeah.
be as it gets closer to your headphones.
That or it's your innate psychic ability, folks.
Maybe you guys brought something with you tonight,
That would be him, not
I
me.
was going to blame her, but
or you
Give it
know,
all.
I brought something with me that Nate's going to take home. It could
Yeah.
be this little guy.
Now we're gonna talk about this real quick. You know the movie Annabelle?
It was bigger in Annabelle.
Annabelle is an actual haunted doll that belongs to the Warrens.
Yep.
Right? Well, maybe somewhere else now.
There was a rumor that it escaped, but I believe it was just a rumor.
Well, it may have gone somewhere else. Let's go ahead and cycle that off and on again. I don't know. All right.
For that.
Yeah, I don't know. Something. It's getting a lot of electricity from somewhere. But anyway, so on the movie Annabelle, it's one of those. What do you call them?
That's a Raggedy Ann. That's a Raggedy
Well,
Ann.
on the movie, it's a wax, one of those glass head dolls.
Yeah, porcelain.
Yeah. Now, the real Annabelle is a Raggedy Ann, correct?
yes.
So, obviously, they couldn't use that for Annabelle because it's chasing some,
It's not very terrifying.
some co-ed down the hallway might cause more of a giggle. I mean, you could even put a knife in his hand and, not a lot of fear with that. But, like the pale face and the rosy red cheeks of the
porcelain doll.
porcelain doll, that's a whole different animal right there.
Yeah. So this one we're donating to Nate's collection.
Yes, it scares
Because
Betsy.
it creeps me out having it at my house. I don't know why. I mean, my kids have dolls. I'm fine with like other dolls.
I think maybe it's haunted, or maybe it's where you put it.
Well, maybe I'll find out and let you know what I get.
Yeah, I don't know. But
How do you find out if an artifact or doll or something is
Yeah.
haunted, carries a residual ghost or spirit with it?
What I do is either use the apps that their team use, or I use more of the non-electric stuff like the pendulum and the little
Okay.
dowsing rods. I can't even think tonight.
So
Okay.
tell us about a couple of like your experiences that stand out as far as ghost hunts go. Well, like the
Yeah.
ones you write home about.
Yeah, give us the. See, do I want it? I want like 3 stories. Now we could go like least scary, most scary, middle scary, or we could escalate up to it, or we could start big and finish easy. I guess I'll let you guys decide.
Go big or go home, right?
Yeah, let's do
Well, I
it.
got a story that still creeps me out.
All right.
Do you know in Salt Lake where the old off-Broadway theater was, where it used to be just right off tracks by Keys on Main?
Yep.
Yes.
I know right where that is.
So I got to investigate there with my very first team, and me and the main lady was downstairs in the prop room, so there was all this different stuff. And we had a ghost box that would say the words like you'd hear the radio and then speak out words like you hear on TV.
Yeah.
Well, we're sitting there.
Like the one that jumps channels.
Yes.
Okay.
So we asked the normals, is there anybody here? And got nothing. Then as we were walking back to our spot,
You asked the what?
we just asked,
Is anybody here?
Okay.
Nothing for a minute, and then we get here. And then a few seconds later, green. So now we're hunting for something green. So nothing. So then we hear the word apple. So now we're looking for an actual prop, like an apple prop.
Uh-huh.
Couldn't find a stinking thing. Go back to where we were. And
So
then
you hear these words across the
The ghost box.
ghost box.
yes.
Okay.
And then we go back to where we were, and there is a bottle of paint on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Can anyone guess what the name of the paint was?
Green.
Green apple.
Yep.
So, okay, you hear it say green apple. You guys go looking around for. Well, you hear it say green, so you go looking for something green.
Yep.
And then you hear it say apple.
Yes.
You go looking for apple, whatever, and then you come back and. So, had it not been spaced out, you probably would have found it right away.
Yeah, if it wasn't that spaced out. But right under us was green apple.
So, is it a scary ghost?
Yeah. How did it feel? Because how would you quantify? Like, is this just residual energy you're hearing? Because it seems very intelligent.
This one was one of their ghosts that they said was haunting the place. I just can't remember the name of it, but it was a girl.
Okay. But was it a
It wasn't residual. It was a smart, intelligent.
so it wasn't like a mean ghost
No,
or
not
it was
at all.
just, hey, here I am.
Yep, here it is. Here I am.
And that
Okay.
was on your
Proof.
first?
That was on one of my first ones.
Wow.
What's the scariest one you've been on?
Have you ever been...
Maybe you don't get scared.
Yeah.
See,
Perhaps
me,
you're stronger than us.
I would have been. I walked in. He turned on the ghost box. I turned around. I got in the white van. The door slid shut. Down with the dial.
So, have you ever come across an entity versus residual energy or a ghost? Anything demonic or...
I don't think demonic that I've come across. There is one story that stands out, but I don't think it was demonic. And we were doing a seance years ago before I even started.
You did a seance.
Seance. Okay, stop there. Tell us. How does a seance work? Jared, we should have a seance.
Well, this one.
Listen, take
he
notes.
probably won't after he hears this.
We're doing it at your house.
So we did it using a candle, and it was me, my friend, my ex, and my friend's mother at the time. And there was something in the apartment because all our doors would be flinging open, and she'd leave and come back with everything open and just going crazy.
So it stayed and hung around?
Yep.
So not only did you bring the monster, ghost, whatever, into her house, and then it hung out. How long did it hang out for?
So that one, I think that's something that's been with her for a while. I wasn't too certain until we finished the seance, and I knew.
So it was with her
I think it was with
previously,
her
and then the
previously.
seance just kind of
But
made it angry or gave it some juice.
it gave it something. Because
Oh.
the candle we was doing it where it was saying move the candle flame towards where you're at, who's who, and the candle flame would be moving towards
I've been
us.
camping. I know how that smoke goes. Mm-hmm. Flame would have chasing me around the room. No dice.
So you've also done. Tell us about the train station, because that's a cool building, very historic in nature,
There's so much there.
and so many people passed through there. What do you think is haunting the train station? And tell us a couple of stories about that.
And does it like bread pudding?
Listen, I'm going to take us all on a trip. One day, we're just going to schedule a trip, and I'm going to show you.
All right.
I think there was more of the war that was when they'd had to bring them to the station. Like they said they'd bring a lot of the
soldiers back
soldiers
from
that
and
passed, and then they'd be there. And I think they just stayed there.
They stayed there a memory of.
I think it's a mix of all of it.
Yeah, and it could be a memory of the families receiving loved ones.
What do you normally hear there?
Well, every time I go there, my name is called on everything.
Which that's creepy.
Even my first time that I've been there, every item that we had would have my name said.
Really? Yeah. How
do they know
at
your
this
name?
train station? How far away from the street curb is it?
It's set pretty far. It's got the parking lot in the front. And then it's got a big grand entrance, and it's set.
So a white van, we're talking 100 yards
easily.
Some distance. Okay, good.
Yeah, and is that a place that you were invited to go, or do they open it up for ghost hunting?
Well, I know after my last time there, they said it's hard to get in there again. But when I first went, it was when it was still easy to get in with the very first team. Then it was still easy with my second team. We went twice, and then after that, I've heard it. There's somebody making it difficult to.
Do you think it's like a new building manager or something that?
Could be.
That could be.
Has there been any of those ghost hunting shows on there?
I don't know if anybody's done that on the train station.
I don't think so.
Okay, so they sometimes something like that happens and they maybe see more profit to it.
Yeah, could be.
Because, they get expensive to go. If they've been on one of the shows, they're going to raise their price to.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, we've got a few comments coming in, and it looks like it's from a lot of people that I am not familiar with, so we'll...
So, tell us is there any memorable ghost hunts that you've been on?
Leslie's family tree was really interesting.
What was it?
Leslie's family tree in Santa Quin.
Okay. What is that?
So it's a restaurant.
Okay, that's what it's called.
The best scones ever. They're like that big.
Really?
I'm not kidding you. They're really good.
That's what it's called. I couldn't remember what it was called.
Leslie's family
That's the one that
tree.
Troy talked about when he was here last week.
When he went in there and he... Okay.
Yeah. So that was fun. I remember being in the banquet room, and all of a sudden, because you know how in the room right now it's really hot, all of a sudden while we're trying to talk to the spirits, it gets really cold.
And do they just let you in there, the owners or proprietors?
Yeah, okay. We went there once this year. That was interesting.
Yeah, that was an interesting visit.
Now, do you guys grab a scone while you hunt?
We went and got dinner before we hunted.
So you sit and have dinner, and then after the place empties out, then you do your hunt.
Don't they have like a little ghost hunter special too?
I think
really?
I think they have something where before you're gonna go to investigate, they have a little meal.
I think.
Oh, nice.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, Troy was talking about it's a curse that was laid on the premise or the building.
Yeah, or at least that's the feeling that he got.
Yeah,
was that it felt very cursed in there.
There's portals in there. I know there's.
He mentioned that
portal in the banquet room, and then I think they said there was a portal in the basement. That's an exit. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what they said.
Hold on. So where's this exit portal go to?
They just leave.
Yeah.
Like to the other side?
Or they go to another one?
Oh.
They have they just come through one portal.
No, humans can't, us liveys, we can't go through those, right?
Nope.
Not that I know of.
I wish I could. I wouldn't be, but...
You what?
I'd go through it if I could.
But what if the portal goes to a bad place?
I'm nosy.
I just want to know.
I'll go with you. How about that?
I'll peek my head in there and look around.
The next thing you know, demons pulling you in.
So what about Asylum 49? Because that's a local here. Now, we were both born there. And I actually had very good...
Yeah, we were born in the building.
Yeah, and I had very good friends that were nursing staff in the rest home who've told me the craziest stories. There was a little boy that whenever any one of their patients would say, oh yeah, my nephew or my grandson came and saw me today, that they knew that patient was going to pass away.
Oh my gosh.
Because the little boy would show up in the rooms just prior to the patient passing. And so they had become so accustomed to it that the nursing staff, when they would hear rumors of where this little boy was visiting, they would call that family and they'd say, you need to come in and see Alice or whoever, because we're afraid that, you know, she's getting close. And it was every time. Every time. So that's a creepy place.
I was doing fine.
But I had friends who, you know, were nursing staff there that said, you know, there wasn't anything that really felt, you know, malevolent or anything.
Negative.
Yeah, it wasn't a negative energy. It was just very present all the time, and it would kind of foretell. Yeah. Actually,
Okay, keep going.
we know a person who passed away. Will you know, for the sake of her family, but her family received that call. It said, you need to come in and see her. And she had been visiting with this little boy who, you know, obviously nobody had been in to see her. She had been visiting with this little boy the whole night before. And so when she told, you know, the attending nurse in the morning, you know, oh, my grandson came to see me last night, or there was a little boy. Sometimes they don't recognize him as family. Sometimes they do. The nurse knew to call and let her immediate family know. And it
What
was
if
within...
it's a Grim Reaper, like
It was in... Yeah.
wearing a disguise?
It was within 12 hours, and she was gone.
Oh.
And that happened a lot at that nursing home.
I guess that's nice that the family got a warning.
Yeah, I think for the longest time they paid no attention to it, but there was a couple of intuitive nurses that were like, okay, so this is happening and then this happens, and this is happening and then this happens. So they just started saying, well, what's it going to hurt? You know, for us to call their family and say, hey, you know, you may want to come and check on her, and she's missing you guys. Maybe come spend some time with him, or whatever it was. So how was Asylum 49? Did you do a full investigation there?
So when I went, it was still an active place. So, I mean, like an active hospital. So I didn't get to go through the whole thing.
It's terrifying.
I just went through parts of it, the portal area that's down there. I got emotional and just started bawling while I'm walking down the hall, and
Yeah.
there was just so much hitting me at once.
Yeah, that's a cool place.
Maybe that's why I have no perception, because I was born there.
Perhaps.
So it washed it out of me.
It was sucked into the portal.
I was
spit out in another realm or
I
another.
was bathed in it at birth. So.
Perhaps.
And it does. The facade of that building is perfect for creepy.
Yeah.
That round main entrance. Most of the time I came in there through the emergency room.
Yeah, that was your jam.
Yeah, I spent many a stitch getting hours in that place, but
Yeah. Interesting. How would you suggest somebody who's interested in ghost hunting get started?
I would say, because they're going to think right up front, they're going to need all this money to have all this equipment, all this stuff. Go with a few friends with a camera, even just your phone, and go. There's apps that work perfect on your phone. You can use a recorder, you got camera, you got video.
And
Take your phone and go.
what would you tell them to look for? Or are there places that are probably better to start at? Like, you may not want to like jump right into the train station, but are there places that are less active normally that are better to start
There's
at?
some parks that we've been to would be perfect to start at, and just to get your basics. And one thing is, if you see this one, what they call the orbs, don't instantly say that's what it is,
Okay, so
because it's not always going to be.
so
now
maybe
is
just
that
like question.
you see those on video, or do you see those with your eyes?
You know, you can see them when all people see them all different ways, but you mostly see them when they take the picture.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then you
yeah.
see those
It's kind of
circles.
still,
Not all of them are going to be what they say it is.
an actual
You have to
orb.
take 3 consecutive pictures So you have to take one,
There you
two,
go.
3 really quickly to even try to decipher if it's an orb.
Okay, so tell me about orbs. What are they?
So it's just another energy of a spirit. So it's just not, they're not full apparition. That's just how they
Present
present
themselves.
themselves for easy.
Interesting. And do orbs, because I've seen some videos where orbs interact. Have you had that experience? Where they like respond to commands and interact, or is that not common?
There was one on my very first team. I can't remember where it was, but they were having a live video as I was watching them because I was tired. And they were talking to, because they took pictures and they saw an orb, and then I tell them that there's one right above someone's head. So they're asking to move to different people, and it kept
Yeah.
bouncing.
So it did what the flame did in your seance.
It did what they did, what the person just bounced to the next person.
Oh.
So as far as equipment goes, what equipment, now that you've got your own team, what equipment do you guys normally use?
We still use our phones, the SLS camera that Sarah has, and a lot of the equipment, the paranormal girls, because we're still trying to gather our equipment.
Okay.
So we have more of the basics and the pendulums and the dowsing rods, and
I have an EMF reader
that's
that,
the one I was looking for.
yeah, I have an EMF reader, which some people believe that spirits can change the electromagnetic fields. So with the EMF reader that I have, we're talking with paranormal girls, if it spikes up past a 1.0, it can be a spirit. So I have that. It even has like a temperature. I'm trying to think, it changes the temperature, so if you move it, the temperature can go up and down on it. I have an EMF, or an EVP.
A basic voice
EMF.
recorder.
What's a EVP?
It's for the,
Oh, the
The recorder?
electronic voice.
Voice
that
phenomenon,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So you don't really have to go all into it with a bunch of money. You can start out with the basic equipment. Mine was like $40 on Amazon for my recorder.
So now you guys have an event coming up,
Yes, on the 24th.
correct?
Yep.
Tell the listeners about this event. And what do you expect to get at this event? Is it just for, just for fun, or are you like actively, continuing to look for more information?
Still always looking for more information, even if we've been to a place multiple times. There's still new stuff that we can learn. But this one has multiple indoors, outdoors, different cabins upstairs, downstairs. There's kids in the little schoolhouse, and a cranky older man that I was dealing with one time when I was there.
Vincent Grist?
Yeah.
Dealing with? What do you mean dealing with?
He didn't want to talk to a woman at all. Like, we were
Oh,
using my
really?
pendulum. And so I was like, okay, do you like women? It was no, like swung like almost off my hand. So I give it to a lady with
It's a
me.
Mormon guy, probably our great-great-grandpa that had that 5 wives. He's like,
I've had enough.
There's a guy named Steven in the barn too. There's Steven. There's been a couple other ones. There's a little kid and I think Sarah. Steven and Sarah are in the barn with a little kid. And then in the mill itself, there's another guy. When I went last time, because this will be our second time going this year.
I think so, yes.
Yeah. So there is another guy in the building in the mill. His name, I can't remember his name. It's Lorenzo, I think it is.
That one I'm not too certain.
Yeah.
So how do you find their names? How do you figure out their names?
Because there's plaques on the buildings themselves, just showing the history of it.
Uh-huh.
And last time I went into the barn, Steven said his name. So we got Steven on one of the apps that we were
You can
using.
hear it on the apps or the
Yeah.
EVPs and all that, or even it just pops in your head and it's...
Because when they start talking through the app, we can ask them, what's your name? And then sometimes the names will just come through very quickly.
well, and that's a good thing about a team is acquiring equipment. You can spread that equipment around more people, so the price, obviously, per person drops. But back to the Benson Grist Mill. That's on the 24th. If people are interested in going,
Yeah, are you guys full, or is
Yeah.
there still space?
There's still space, got plenty of that. Plus, we're getting our raffle prizes coming in, so that's another
Nice.
thing. So
Nice.
you'd pay $1 a ticket for what one you want, and we'll.
Okay, so you're going to have a raffle.
What-
It's a ghost hunt. What time does the ghost hunt start?
What are we raffling off? Is it haunted stuff?
Oh no, it's different stuff. My friend brought me like a Starbucks. Gift
We'll have to give
basket.
them a raffle.
Okay,
we'll have
so-
to get you guys. We'll get you together a
Yeah,
raffle giveaway.
We'll put together. We'll be there as well.
Yeah.
Of course.
But we, I was just making sure, throw a ticket down. Hey, that's a neat looking pencil. And there
Yeah,
we
no,
go.
some of them are gift baskets. I know one of my other friends on the team, she was making salts, and they have different scents in them. Jennifer.
Oh, yep, I
yeah,
got
Jennifer
those.
is making the salts.
Okay.
So she actually makes these salts herself and has different essential oils in them. So those will be in the basket. I have some
Sarah
pieces
and I
of
are doing
jewelry.
offering readings and jewelry.
Yeah, I have some jewelry that I'm going to give to Sarah. She's going to help me create a basket for that.
Okay.
Just different little things that we're going to throw
Awesome.
together.
Sarah says there are 20 tickets left, and it's
Thank
at
you,
9
Sarah.
p.m. Yes,
Okay, so
Sarah.
it starts at 9 p.m. How late does it go?
That I was just looking because my mind's so foggy. It says it goes till 2, but if you just are too tired,
Yeah,
we're
like
not
some
going to say,
of
I'm
us.
sorry, you have to stay.
You must stay.
Or like some of us with children,
Oh yeah, yeah.
got to go home early.
So, is there a what they call a witching hour? Do you believe that there is a witching hour?
Between
Where-
1 and 3.
I would say it's somewhere between 1 and 3.
And why is that? Do you think it's just quieter, less electronics? I mean,
I think it's that, plus the veil is just a little shorter. It's not as thick. So you can get stuff a little easier, but then it goes back. So there's just a shorter veil for the different areas.
More activity in a way.
There you go. That's
interesting.
my words.
I got you. You're welcome.
Sarah says 2 a.m.
2 a.m.'s the witching hour.
No, that's probably when it ends.
Oh, okay.
That's it too.
Yeah.
Ends at 2. Okay, so anybody interested, it's on the 24th of October,
Yes.
Yep.
and it is 9 to 2. It's Hidden Realms Paranormal of
Utah.
Utah.
Yes.
And it's on our events page on our Facebook page, right?
So if you want to go
And we
in,
will link it
and
on
register.
our show notes. If
yeah, we're going to be there. We're going to try and do, maybe some recordings with some of your tarot
have an
readers. so that
18
they can-
meetup and
Yeah.
some fun stuff. We'll have a camera, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Can I see this app you've got, the phone app?
Oh,
Yeah, I can
Jerry.
pull it up.
Is it the Necrophonic one?
There's 2 of them.
Because I have the Necrophonic one.
I got Necrophonic and Echovox. Hers would probably be able to be heard better.
Are you sure?
Okay,
'cause mine speaker stinks.
let's do it in here.
Done, done, done.
She's got a remote thing. She can go stand outside.
I'm close to blocking the door. So I think we're
Camera this way. Block the door. We're good. So you guys good?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is this app called?
Necrophonic.
Necrophonic. Kind of like the same thing as a ghost box where it goes through the waves of
It's just listening.
kind of like that. But yeah, it's not as annoying as hearing the.
Yeah, okay.
You want to talk to it?
Well, let's just do the basic. Is anyone here?
If it says cardboardo, I am out the window.
I'm tripping you.
Are we empty? Nobody?
That sound like in here.
I thought I heard in here.
No, I heard welcome to X96.
Did we hear in here? I did.
I did. Yeah. You want to try it? You can try it.
Necrophonic.
Oops.
And, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we can...
So, Nate, you collect dolls.
New collection, but I've been interested in them since.
And tell us a little bit about why?
Tell us about your pieces.
Yeah. And how does one decide they want to collect haunted dolls?
Well, I'm already nuts, so that's...
Okay, so step one, mental illness. Okay, step one.
And then I just thought, if I collect enough dolls, I can just do my own investigations at home. I don't have to go anywhere. I can go to bed at a right time.
You just hang out with them.
See them about between 1 and 3 with the witching hour. Okay, the bell's ringing.
Okay.
How many do you have currently?
It's a brand new collection, so this is the second one.
Okay, so you've got now 2 haunted critters.
Yep.
Wow.
Where are they in your house?
They are sitting on a little mini fireplace in the living room.
So not in your sleeping room for witching hour time.
No, there's no room where I would. So they're just going to sit and watch TV with us.
You would? You'd put them in there with you?
Yeah.
So have you ever run into something that you've been scared of? Or just more curious? Because I'm sensing that he may not be Hannibal. He may be Mr. T. I'm just saying.
Mr. T's afraid of the helicopter, though.
Oh, that's true. He didn't like to fly. They'd always have to tranquilize him.
So now that I'm thinking about it, anything with the paranormal stuff, I would rather be the one saying, I'm going to go towards the sound you guys leave.
You're kidding. Have you ever done ghost hunts by yourself?
I'd have patted you on the back.
Yeah.
There's times that I've stayed in a room by myself or wandered around alone.
No. Nope. That will not happen on the 24th.
Oh. Now, you're wearing a crystal there. What do we got on the crystal?
This one I just liked it 'cause it's the tree of life that someone wrapped, and I just like it. It's nothing special, nothing...
So it's not
protective in any way.
No,
or
just I thought it was pretty.
And yours, Lindsay?
Amethyst.
Okay, what does amethyst do?
Supposed to help with...
I'm so bad on stones.
Me too.
Yeah, I've got some amethyst.
It looks pretty. It brings out eyes. It's purple.
Yeah.
Supposed to help with...
Sarah will hop on in a minute. Witching hour is between 3 and 6.
Oh.
Ooh.
Well, there. I'm glad Sarah's watching.
That's what I heard was 1 and 3, so I don't know.
Yeah.
3 and 6.
3 and 6. Well, not one
You're
movie
up at the
was
witching hour.
3:15. Yeah, I wake up at 4 in the morning.
It's never hit me, though. That's from 6.
Yeah.
It's weird. For me, it's almost like 2 to 3 or 3 to 4.
Yeah.
Is when I feel it.
Well, maybe it's stronger when it first initiates.
Could be.
So, beyond the Benson Gristmill, do you guys have any other big ghost hunts planned for the rest of this year?
For the winter after Benson Grist, we're taking a break. We're going to just not do anything during the holidays and start up fresh, I think, February or March.
Oh, okay. All right.
So give everyone a break.
So you just don't want to draw Krampus down on you.
Yeah.
Kind of smooth through all that.
Yeah.
Krampus. That show was terrifying.
I never saw it.
Well, it's not a Christmas show. I'll tell you that. That was a scary show. Well, very cool.
What kind of protection do you guys carry in there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sage, Palo Santo.
Do you ever sage your house or cleanse your house? Or?
I don't. I usually just always keep a white light around the whole place and myself and whoever's with me.
Okay, hold on. Okay.
So
a white light, just a light bulb?
No, I
like
comes out of the third eye, and I kind of envelop everyone that's with me
Okay,
with a white
so
light.
you think about.
So-
Okay.
so
Kind of
do
like
you-
their protection.
Do you place your dolls in a white light as well?
Yep, when they're anything in the place that I'm at, I cover the whole place, so they're covered too. But
Oh.
Okay.
the one I have at the house likes to wander around the different buildings.
So where did you get that one?
Hold on. We're not breezing easy off that. The doll you have at your house wanders around?
Well, not the doll itself, but
The spirit.
The spirit.
Now that he's out of because we got him at Needful Things,
Uh-huh.
and then now that he's out of there, he loves to wander around through different apartments, just because now he doesn't have to stay stuck there.
So your poor neighbors are...
You get what you get.
They'll be okay.
Yeah. Sometimes you just don't get a choice.
Is he a nice?
He's not a turd now.
Okay, so he's a nice one.
Yeah.
All right.
Have you identified anything about him or her?
Well, I know his name's George.
Okay. George.
What I got from when I was at Nateful Things, all that the owner said was it's George, a gay spirit in about 30 to 40s.
George,
Wouldn't let any women touch him at the
a
beginning.
gay spirit, 30 to 40 years old.
And wouldn't let women, like, pick him up and all that. Has to have his legs crossed at all times.
Wow.
Tell George to ease up on the stereotypes, please.
I'm interested to see,
See how those two
yeah, what's the deal with this doll? This doll, we kind of talked about it before the show. I picked it up because I was preparing a room for the podcast, and it makes me uncomfortable. I don't know why, but it does. And having it in there, so you have to walk past my podcast room to get to the rest of my living space downstairs.
Yeah, you go right down the stairs and turn right, and the podcast room is just on the left. So you go down the stairs to the north, and then you turn east, and then the door to the podcast room is about, 3 feet in?
Yeah, and so I found myself, without even thinking about it, reminding my husband to shut that door. You gotta shut that door. He's like, why? I'm like, I don't know, but you've just got to shut the door. And I couldn't put my finger on it. My daughter, who's very intuitive, is like, I do not like that doll. You got to turn it around. You got to do something with it. I don't like it. So I was like, well, we'll just keep the podcast room closed. So then I would find myself skipping as fast as I could past the podcast room. And then when I'd go back up the stairs, I would skip the first couple of stairs to get up the stairs fast. And then I always keep the basement door closed. So when we were talking with Sarah, I was like, oh, I have a doll.
She said Nate collects
I would love to donate it.
It started out talking about that
There's nothing else in the room
the
that
lady
bothers
that
me.
was on your team that had a draw to a certain doll, and that got the doll subject going.
Oh, yeah. I was there for that.
Okay, and
Yeah.
got the doll subject going, and then she mentioned that you collect dolls, and Betsy jumped out of her seat. And
Yeah, and I was like, dang, I should have brought the doll. You could have taken it home with you.
yeah,
And now I got him, so
Yes.
out of your hands.
So it'll be interesting to hear,
If it is
if you sense
haunted.
anything from the creepy doll. And I wouldn't say he's creepy, but I don't know. I don't like him.
yeah.
There's something about him that makes me uncomfortable.
I'll figure it out, and then I'll let you know what's
Yeah.
coming out of that one.
Very
Oh,
cool.
what if there is something?
Anything else you guys do?
No, here's worse yet. What if he says there was something in it, but it's gone now?
Don't. You lie to me. You bold-faced lie to my face and tell me that it's not at my house. So you guys have done the thing at Needful Things where you go in and you hold things, correct?
Yep.
Tell us about that, because that's something that I see advertised sometimes on your page and other pages. That is, what do they call that?
My psychometry
Psychometry.
class.
Yes.
Yeah, the
So-
psychometry and demon.
You almost got a demonomany.
Yeah, there's the stumbler.
So what do you do with this class?
So that one, I mean, I haven't hosted this one yet because I haven't had a chance to, but at the last one I did, it's basically they just talked about what we're doing and then just sent you off to go find something that's drawn to you. And then like something that you're seeing, like you pick up an item, take it back, and then you just tell your story of what made you bring it,
Why do you feel like
why do you feel it.
you were drawn to
I'm
that?
picking up the dime because I don't think anything big and bad can fit in here.
The last class I went to for psychometry, I went and picked up this little musical box. It like had a little horse on it, like it looked like a merry-go-round, except for one horse. And so we used our pendulums, and we were like, does this have residual energy? And we'd wait for it to say yes or no, or is there a spirit that's attached to it?
Wow.
Is there spirits attached to everything they lay out on display, or?
No, there's residual energy where it can be a little kid played with it and just love the little item, or
And people,
spirit
sometimes you
attached
pick
to
up
it.
on that.
You can pick up just on that, or if someone's attached to it, you can pick that too.
Wow. What's the most haunted place you've ever been?
I'd probably have to say the train station, because I was hearing screams and footsteps and shadows, and
So you saw shadows?
like the biggest one is I was walking out of like the main auditorium room. We're putting up cords and everything just to get the videos ready, and even my friend was with me who was skeptic. We're walking out and we saw a shadow again from the waist down, and just saw the feet run out of the room, and he didn't even know how to respond to that.
Well, yeah, you're confronted with your paradigm. If you're a skeptic and you don't believe that, this energy maintains some sense of, power or whatever over here, you have to re-examine your entire paradigm. You have to shift that. If you see,
Especially as clear as it was.
Yeah.
how did you get him to stay after that? I'd have left.
We just stayed. It's fine.
I'd have been like,
Didn't even have to make it.
I've seen
Let's
enough.
go. Let's do more.
I'm a believer. I'm going to go on home to Hail Marys.
Yeah.
Oh. So you heard screams as well?
Like screams down the hall, and
Oh.
or I'd hear like whispers behind, or even like little pokes on the shoulder.
Oh, so that was another question of mine. Yeah, have you've been touched?
You guys wouldn't be expecting the white van to still be out when they come out, right?
You just know he's already gone. Call an Uber.
Yeah.
He's not coming back.
Yeah, no, that was
I'll
it.
pick you up 6 blocks down the road. You'll be fine, I suppose.
So when you guys go, do you always go together as a team, or does it just vary?
If it's like the public investigations, not all the team always is going to go. So that's why we kind of made it a semi-larger to size team. So then the team members come in, then if there's a big group, it's easier to split everyone, and each team lead can lead a different group on their own.
Kind of give a specialist to a group of
Yeah.
novices. What would we call us?
Newbies, greenhorns.
Newbies or temporaries?
That's right.
Hand us off to get trained for a minute and spooked out.
So following these investigations, do you guys go home and kind of decompress and then come back together and like discuss? Like,
Or
what
do you go to Denny's afterwards, grab
Yeah.
some breakfast?
Yeah, like
Some
what do we
people do.
what do we think it is? Do you share kind of together as a team following these?
I think after, because we have like team chats too, because not all of us can
Always be
meet
there.
together again, so we'll usually talk in the little chat rooms, or we'll do sprays before we leave. And
What's a spray?
it's like a protection spray that's kind of like the
Some
same way
people-
Sage is used. And
Yeah, like I sage and use Palisanto before I leave.
Polisanto.
It's a little bit of wood that you just
Okay.
light.
Yeah.
Yeah, I use
Okay.
that, or I use sage, just to make sure there's no attachments coming home with me.
Good plan. Good plan.
My 8-year-old, I don't want nothing to be attached to her, so I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a scary thought. Bringing it home with you.
Well, you left it home, so
I did not. It's here. He's agreed to go to Nate's.
I
We're good.
remember when Jennifer talked about the home protection stuff.
Yeah.
I'm hoping she laid one here so that as you carried him in, I was outside the
He's waiting outside for Nate to walk out with him.
pacing out front, just pacing up and down the street.
Yeah, that's a scary thought. So, what's the scariest one you've been on?
So, I went to Memory Grove with one of the other team
Now,
members.
tell me about Memory Grove. It's just a park, right? What's the history there?
I'll be honest, I don't know too much of the history, because I only just went because I heard, it's haunted.
There was
So I
a
went
witch's
to
house
chill
that
a bit
was
more.
supposedly over there, and the Mormons hung the witch. There is a satanic altar there too. And I'm not, this is when I went last time. There is actually wax on the altar as well. They used to do rituals. So we went up to the witch's house with me, another team member that used to be on the team, and then his friend. And her and I, we were just talking, and he was recording, because I guess him and his friend had rocks thrown at them. So we were just up there trying to see if we got any activity. We didn't get any activity, so we went down to the altar. Sarah came with us.
What's the altar made out of?
It's just cement. It's a cement
So
altar.
it's like a heavy stone altar. It's not, you know.
Yeah, and then Sarah showed up, but then she was down at the bottom, but me and Andrew, we were at the altar together, we were talking, and then Sarah comes up, and she lays on the altar, and I don't know where the spirit came from. He either followed me from the witch's house or something, but while Andrew was Facebook Living, Sarah was laying on the altar, and I was just talking with her, and we were talking, and this guy was
just like laying on her, like on her back?
Yeah, she was laying on her back.
On the
on the altar.
Devil altar?
So
Sarah, I have so many questions.
I'm sorry, Sarah. I had to tell the story.
So if she sees an Iron Maiden, is she can hop in, shut the doors?
That wouldn't surprise me.
How far do we go with this?
But so Sarah gets off the altar, and someone was watching the Facebook Live, and this guy with, I guess, strangly brown hair was behind me, and he looked like he was like in his 40s, and she's like, I don't get a bad vibe off him, but make sure to sage Lindsey like twice to make sure he doesn't come home with her.
So somebody in the live saw him?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want a weird boyfriend following you home from the other side.
No, I'm good. I don't need that kind of boyfriend.
I would like to, you know where I'd like to take him one time? Up to Devil's Cave.
I was thinking
That would
about
be
that.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's got lots of...
I saw something young when I was young up there. Me and a
History.
handful of buddies.
So do you guys ever... All right. I always ask this question. Aliens. Yes? No?
Skinwalker Ranch, I would love to go there, just saying now. That's like my dream, is to go there.
Well, we should plan a trip.
Because
Yeah.
Skinwalker Ranch would be amazing to go to, especially with all the stuff I've heard about it, I've read, I've seen on TV.
So what do you think? Do you believe in aliens?
I do.
It's always been the one topic for me that I can't grasp.
It seems too big.
Because I'm like right in the middle where I want to believe, but I don't.
Yeah, because then
I
what
just
if?
I can't
I'm the
get it.
same way. Like, okay, fine. It's likely there is life out there. But I have a hard time going beyond that statement because it seems too big. That's too big. It's too big for me, for my little pea-sized brain to comprehend the distance, the amount, the types of species, you know, all of it.
That's exactly how I'm.
It seems too big. But I mean, it
Well-
also seems too obvious. I mean, of course, there would have to be.
Jacques Vallée thinks that aliens are demons, and he's a renowned alien researcher.
That aliens are demons?
Yes. Like interdimensional demons.
I don't like that idea.
Kind of like Cthulhu.
That means they can come and go dimensionally. Perhaps through portals. How do you find a portal? How does one identify a portal? I have lots of questions
different.
tonight.
Well, they used
I know
the...
Sarah showed me, you can take a pendulum, and I know for mine, yes, I think, is this way for a portal, and if it's an exit portal, it moves. It tells you which one. You can ask a pendulum, is there a portal here? And then if it tells you yes, you can ask it.
So, when you put the pendulum back in your pocket before you leave, do you, like, roll up the string nicely, or you just stuff it in and go?
I just put it in my little baggie and go.
Okay, good. It's quicker that way.
Yes, faster.
Yes. I would want one, you know, like those strings that you pull out like zzz, and they kind of lock.
Yeah.
And that way I pull zzz, and it jumps back in, drop it in the pocket, out the door.
A retractable pendulum string.
Yeah. Let's go through a few of the messages we've had on here real quick. So, Lindsay, you've had a lot of friends saying hi, and they use your full name. Rose Cherie Flores. Did I say that correctly?
I think so.
All right. And Jenny Grange. They're using the full hi, Lindsay, Ricochet, Felicia.
Lesser.
You're famous.
Yeah. Okay. Ready? We got some. This is from Jenny Grange. We had a mean spirit in my old house. It locked me in the bathroom and would cut me at night. That's
And did you call the fire department when you lit it on fire, or did you just
Yes.
walk away?
or how were the permits for the dynamite?
And does the
Was it
fire
like-
take care of it? What
It
a
could be
waste.
attached to the actual ground.
Yep.
Okay, so what would you suggest you do in that case? If people have these types of scary encounters, first of all, you need to find your tribe, because not everybody's going to believe you. And I think that there's been a shift spiritually where people are starting to, like, you know, pull away from the idea that A, spirits don't exist, and B, if they do, it's evil to speak of them. There's been a shift. People are moving away from that. So if they find you and they're like, okay, I found my tribe, what do you do in a case like this? Do you send them to the paranormal girls and say, can you go check out
So
this
the
house?
first thing
Or
we do is we would have them try to contact us too first
To investigate.
with a story, and then we can talk to the paranormal girls. Then we can figure out how to do like a pre-investigation and kind of get the feel of
To
everything.
see
and
if it's residual or if it's actually an
There you go.
entity that's doing it, because there's sometimes where it can be residual energy as well.
residual energy can harm?
Can cut you?
Not harm, but sometimes with certain things it can be residual energy with the type of,
it could
you know
be
what
a
I'm
mix
talking
of both.
about.
Yeah.
Or like it could be like the electricity in the house.
So we try to check everything
We try to
before
make sure
do
everything-
the actual investigation. Then the girls get it set up, and
Okay.
And then they spend the night there, and
It's a crazy train.
oh.
Oh, that would be awful.
Sarah wants us to put the call out. If anyone has any other haunted dolls, they need to.
Yes, or relics.
Nate.
I'll
Yeah.
take them.
Perhaps it's not a doll.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to
Anything.
be at all.
Yeah.
Perhaps it's, you know, something else that you feel has something attached to it. These are your guys.
George needs more friends, everyone. So more the merrier. Just letting you know now. George needs more friends, so might as well.
Yeah, that's...
You're
Can't got your
building
back
a.
covered.
You're building a
Then I'll just
platoon.
hand the team over to
Yes.
someone else, and I'll stay in my house.
George is going to have a little army.
I'll have my own army on the other side.
You might be the target of his army.
So tell us something that you've learned ghost hunting. Have you had a paradigm shift where you thought one thing was one way, but then you've learned that perhaps it's not?
There's still been a few times, even just recent, where it hits me like, really. I can't even get the words out. What words am I looking for?
So, is there something you used to believe that you no longer believe, or you used to not believe that now you do?
I mean, if it was the very first thing that I heard, I didn't really believe the EVP stuff was real when I first started. I thought this was all fake or whispers of... Then I had my first one. That changed me quick.
Okay, and that was what we just listened to on the cell phone.
Like that,
on
but
the,
it was like a basic recorder. I was like,
what was that called again?
Yeah,
The
Necrophonic.
Necrophonic. Right there.
yeah, I need to write that down.
And I think it's $10.
Okay, what's the other one?
That one.
Yeah.
I don't even use it. Echovox.
Yeah.
That one
Echovox.
they wanted 20. I think 30 I paid for it.
Necrophonic and
I'm glad you
Echovox.
Echovox. And these are they like a spirit box?
They're pretty much another form of a spirit box.
so they just pull in different
waves from the radio waves.
Different radio waves, but every once in a while the ghost will sneak in their message.
Yep, and you'll be able to easily identify it. You'll know.
On that app, so one of the people on our team, she had another app on her computer that she'd bring, and I actually had something that said Lindsey memories. So just certain things like that that you can use. You can use your laptop, you can use your cell phone.
So we've been told several times to not
Turn them on in your house.
yeah, to
Like
not
we just did in my house.
That's the thing. It's all for research, Jared. It's all for research.
Goody.
So we've been told several times to not investigate your own space, because then you're kind of inviting them into the space just purely by investigation.
You're kind of sending up the bat signal.
Yeah. Do you guys feel that that's probably good advice?
I'm sure Nate doesn't care.
I was just about to say it doesn't bother me. I've done it.
Nate takes it home. He's like, come on, you're coming with me.
So for me, it's not a problem.
I don't know. I did it once with another app, but I found out the app wasn't as good as I thought it was, so I'm on the fence. I haven't really investigated my own home with the Necrophonic app right now, but I don't want to test those waters yet.
Yeah, what?
I don't.
Some things I don't want to know.
Well, I wouldn't mind knowing, but again, my daughter, I don't want to bring. Shine the bat light. Hey, come over here, and then have it affect my daughter.
Yeah.
What was that that cemetery we went to? Mercer?
Mercer.
Cemetery?
Have you guys been out there?
I hate that hill.
Yeah, that hill's.
That still gives me.
I haven't. I want to go, but I haven't been yet.
I don't want to go back just because of the hill.
Yeah.
We can go tonight. Let's do it.
No thanks.
Oh, come on. I don't want to go by myself. I want you to go with me.
Nope.
Oh.
So do you think that there is, I mean, what do you think causes a place's activity? Do you think it's tragedy? Do you think it's just how busy it was?
I think tragedy is one thing. Like if they were killed really bad, horribly,
Or
that's
suicide.
gonna leave energy at the place where you're at. Like they're gonna most likely stay behind. Some of them just don't want to go. They feel like they're not finished.
Oh,
Or scared. Some of them are scared to go to the light, too.
I hope I just go. I hope I just be like, Pop Smoke.
Or some of them don't want to go back and see what's on the other side. Because, some people do believe when you go back past the light, you relive your life now or
differently.
Yeah, or you
just stay.
Or you view your life on how it was or something in that aspect, and they don't want to go. That makes sense.
Yeah, I can understand that. You don't want to be faced with your own demons. You don't want to face the music, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So we've got a couple more apps.
Okay.
These are coming in. I've got to find it. Sarah just said the Phasmabox on the computer.
Yes, that's the one that's really good.
Not the one you brought with the computer.
No, Bobby brought that one with the computer, but that's the one that I was telling him about, where it said my name and it said memories.
Okay, so it's not a mobile app?
No, it's for a computer, so you can bring a laptop with you, and you can download it and buy it from the laptop, and it's like $20, but it's amazing on the laptop.
Okay, Phasma, and then we got that one's just for computer, and then we've got Paralus, Paralus. That's from Mary. Now, that little boy lives with me now. His name is Christian. That's from Jennifer, who was on 2 weeks ago.
Okay, so the
little boy that she said that lives with her is. Remember, she told us that she took the little boy home, and we just didn't.
From the nursing home.
Yeah, we didn't piece together. Oh.
Okay.
Wow, that's cool.
All right.
So I had heard those stories. Like I said, I know several people who were actually nursing staff there. Ooh, and she said Christian, right?
Yep, Christian.
Yeah, I think that's what they called him.
Mary.
That's creepy.
What was your weirdest moment ghost hunting? I remember when a nanny of kids at a location asked me to touch her breast.
What?
I'm like, I can't do that. I'll go through you. And she said to just keep my hands in the air. And then a laughy face. I mean, did you go through her, Mary?
Mary, did you do it?
Did you just pretend? I've seen Ghostbusters. I know how that works out for Ray.
It doesn't pan out well.
So, what's your weirdest experience?
It could be weird, but it's my last team. We were doing a home investigation. We were using the Echovox, and we noticed the lady had a Bluetooth speaker. So we're like, let's just connect that way so we can hear it better. Turn it on. We do some talking. Then we hear a distinct laughter, and it's the laughter of the teammate that's sitting right next to me, and she hasn't spoken a word, and it was her exact voice.
So you hear her laugh. So could that have been mimicking
It was a
spirit?
They were mimicking because it was exactly her
Or
voice.
could it have been
What did
like
she
a
say?
time slip?
She didn't really say much.
Oh, a time slip. I don't like that.
But it was
Do
clear.
you like it more than
Like a wrinkle? You meet up
you
again?
like
or?
it more than a ghost?
Well, at least the ghost doesn't blow my brain apart. Oh.
What's your weirdest, Lindsay?
I
mean, aside from Sarah laying down on the altar
That was pretty weird.
and then the scraggly haired dude.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of one.
Probably just joining the team itself.
Yeah.
No, I like the team. I love the team. I wouldn't trade it for the world. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever had one as of yet. From everything that we've done, besides the cold air filling, which feels, I get the static on my neck too when I can feel them touching me, so it feels,
Oh.
yeah, it's crazy when they just start touching you. Like, I see you, I feel you.
I think we should gather a team and head up to Devil's Cave.
I like that idea.
yeah.
We should plan it.
I'm down.
And it's a little bit of
course
a
Nate
hike.
is. He
It's a little
doesn't-
bit of a walk.
Nate doesn't care.
It's okay. I'll carry you. Let's do this.
Yeah, you can carry.
Hey, Jennifer has a wagon. I can push you.
I'm not sitting in a wagon.
I've got a four-wheeler. We could take that.
That's even better.
There you go. Now, it's probably more of a hike than Merker is.
I've never been in Devil's Cave.
I have a few times, but the one time we went up there and saw something.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, I want to hear this.
I don't know. I'm probably, 15 at the time. And me and, 8 buddies shovel into a Chevy Blazer. And we head up there, and you walk up around, it kind of walks up and comes around, and there's a cave up there that they call it Devil's Cave because apparently the rumor is that kids would go in there and devil worship, but we've since found out that most of that are stories. But it's an hour after dusk, so it's fairly dark, but not completely out. But it is in a canyon, and we walked up and we saw a big shadow with eyes kind of move across the front of the cave and move back across and then go in. And the shadow was huge.
It went in
Yes.
prior to you going in?
We didn't go in that night, no.
Oh. I was like, you were a
Man.
different cat back then.
Me and my buddy who did not run, because I did not run that night, he did not run because he had been chucker hunting that day and still had his shotgun. We stayed up there. We just heard footsteps hauling ass down the mountain behind us and turned around and we're up there alone. So
Wow,
then we ran.
Oh.
that's crazy.
But yeah, it was huge. It had to have been 12 feet tall, and because the mouth of the cave is substantially wider and it eclipsed the whole mouth of it.
Wow.
Ooh, that's creepy. Yeah, I've seen enough. That'd have been enough for me. Good. No need to see inside.
Mary says, I definitely felt a mass for a split second. What do you mean, Mary? What's a mass?
When the nanny told her to grab her.
Oh, you
She did it.
When you grab ghost boob.
Mary, you're
That
so
nanny,
old.
that nanny, that's a no touch, Mary. that nanny did a no on you. Mary, show me on the doll.
Like they
What
did
the nanny
the
did.
Satanic Panic. Show me on the doll what the nanny made you do.
Yes. Oh my gosh. But anyways, yeah, I would like to get Sarah, obviously, and
We've got to schedule a time.
Ryan, and it'd be a quick trip. It's we won't need to stay there all night. It's not like an investigatory build. I don't know. You guys are the professionals. Me, I would want to walk up there. I'd want to head up there probably at dusk while we still have enough light to make our way up, and then come back down. But that'd be cool to get a group of, however many of you want to go out there.
That would be fun.
And
Check
again,
it out.
don't be shocked when I show up in camouflage, got a slung rifle. I'm ready to combat. I don't know what good it'll do against the ghost, but I'll feel better.
Yeah, I've never been there. I've just heard the stories. It's kind of an old folklore around here.
Yes. Oh, Saturday night, you guys are at Merker, huh? Oh, yeah, I could probably make it Saturday. I work Saturday day, so I can't hang
This
out.
Saturday?
Yes. I can't hang out all Saturday night because I work at 4 in the morning.
Are we talking paranormal girls?
Jennifer. So I don't know who all's there, but yeah, she says they're heading up to Merker on Saturday night.
Ooh.
Just to get a little feel of the spooky.
Little spookiness.
I can dig it.
Yeah, very cool.
I can dig it. But yeah, we'll take you up to Devil's Cave. And Devil's Cave is it's in Johnson's Pass, which is that pass that goes from if you're heading out to Merker, you just keep going out and around and then head over Rush Valley and over the mountain towards Stugway. So yeah, we could cruise up there for sure.
Check it out.
Yes.
It'd be fun.
Are you still looking to add members to your team? We have a couple people asking.
I think we're right at the middle of yes and no, but we're gonna do it. We're doing it a little different. Kind of where we got like little questionnaire form to ask them questions and maybe go on an investigation just to get used to the team. But first, just send us a
And
message
also
anywhere.
let the team get to know you.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy that shows up that's kind of twitchy and, mumbles, curse words under his breath. Maybe he can, pass on joining your team.
Yeah, so never knows. Just send us a message and we'll let you know what's going on.
Yeah, I am excited for the
24th.
for the 24th. Also, Sarah mentioned there is next month a psychometry.
Psychometry.
That's what I said.
So close.
It's a class next month. We will have the link to look into that and join up. But it's a free class. The
Yep,
psychometry.
it's free.
Okay. Yes. So yeah, and I wanted to go to this one last weekend, but I'm gonna go to
What's it for the cold case?
Yes.
You should have. I was throwing that.
Yes,
I
I
helped with that.
had
How did that go?
It was good. Jennifer, not Jennifer from Paranormal Girls, but another Jennifer on our team. Her and I, we both threw it. We had two different people that we had.
the salt girl, salt crusty girl. What's her name? The two cases. One of them's Salt Girl.
The two cases that you guys did?
Yeah,
Yes.
so we had one that was a guy. He went to hell. What's that place called? Hold on.
He went to hell.
No, it's a place in Utah. I have a picture of him.
This one I wasn't at, so.
Yeah. I wanted to go to that. I just got roped into other things.
And for those listening, what do you guys do? What is the premise of that?
You can explain that.
Okay, while you're looking.
Yeah, while I'm looking.
So the cold case, it's kind of even if you have abilities or if you don't, still come to it. Because there's going to be one or two people that's going to look for someone like a missing person or whatever's happened to them where they're named missing people.
Saltaire Sally.
And then that one person won't tell you what it is, but everyone else will give time to write down what you're getting, what's coming to you, maybe hold the paper if you need to just kind of hone in on your
I
abilities.
could do an outstanding supporting role.
You could.
You know,
you could be the
shoulder
backup
massage
dancer.
while people do stuff. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we did.
And Corey, can't remember his last name. It's coming from Sarah. So Corey is the guy.
Yeah, so Corey is the guy that we did.
And Saltaire Sally's the girl.
Yeah, so we did Nicole. She was the girl from the Saltaire that was just dropped there. They don't know what exactly happened. They just found her body. And then Corey is the one. He went up. He lived in Cottonwood Canyon, and then he was going to Hellgate to go hiking, and they just found his body. He was missing since 2012.
And they just found his body?
Well, he was missing since 2012. I'm not sure how long ago they found his body, but I guess a couple hikers went and found one boot with his foot in it still. Yeah, and then they called the police, and then they found his other boot with his foot in it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I've just had a premonition. Here's my sense. So on the day we put a group together to go to the museum, we could go out to Devil's Cave on that day and
Sure, kind of start there.
or maybe even break it off into, I don't know how you guys like to do it, but you know, the Devil's Cave, that one I think would be a quick trip. It's not.
And you do want to start that one before dark. I know the witching hour's not till much later, but
Yeah.
you don't want to be
And it's a mine.
traversing near a mine.
It's
after dark.
an old mine that, you know, it's short, it's shallow, it's narrow, and you get in there and then it wallows out. So it's, I mean, that would bug the shit out of me, I think. But,
Yeah,
you know, even though I have done some mine exploration.
not me.
I went to
You,
Ted
we
Bundy's
went that
cave.
one time. You went where?
Ted Bundy's cave, supposedly.
Yeah?
That was cool. They have
Oh.
it blocked off, though, so you can't go into the mine shaft completely, but they have it blocked off.
We used to do Nutty Putty when I was a kid until that guy, you know,
Died in it.
yeah.
Passed away.
We went into, her and her husband went into one, what was that, last summer?
A couple summers ago.
And walking in and a little albino bat came out, landed on my hat, flew over her head, landed on her husband's hat, and then flew out. She didn't say a word. She turned around, her arms went straight down to her sides, and she stormed right out of there.
Yeah, you had me at albino bat. Oh, look, that one's a white one. I was like, gone. That's it.
So is Lisa Musser Nelson?
Yeah.
That's your daughter?
Yep.
She says hi, Mommy.
Okay. Yeah, she wanted to watch me tonight, so I was like,
Yeah.
have her watch me.
Hi, Lisa.
Yeah, yeah.
Thanks for
Lisa.
watching.
Yes, definitely. But yeah, I'm excited for that. So let's knock out some plugs before we round the show up. We've got the on the 24th at the Benson Grist Mill. Go to the Utah Hidden Realms Hidden Realms Paranormal Utah. Make sure you add the Utah, or you're going to have to get an airline flight to go join it. And it's not. Well, I mean,
It's
you'll be
not
on
going to
the
be the
plane
Benson
alone.
Grist Mill.
Yes. You know,
20 tickets left.
Yep, still
22.
got plenty of those.
there's 20 tickets left. We'll be there. And
I think it'll be a good time.
Oh,
It's an interesting, very historic building for this area. So for the local listeners, you've all driven by the Benson Grist Mill. Wouldn't it be cool to go check it out and kind of get a feel for the energies that were left behind?
yeah,
So
yeah, definitely. So, so jump on their site. We'll have a link if you don't have a link directly to them. The Hidden Realms will be linked through the show notes. Also, they've got the Psychomenemone class.
you're getting better.
Psycho.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
Anyways, that class is coming
Psychometry?
up. Yes, that's the one. That's coming up next month. So keep your eye out for that, and there'll be a link for that also. And remember, if you have...
And if you haven't joined their Facebook page, it's a pretty cool community.
Oh, yeah. These people have been great.
Like I said, if you're looking for a tribe, you know, these guys may be your tribe.
Very kind, very welcoming. Now, if you have a haunted object or a suspected haunted object, get on that Hidden Realms, get a hold of Nate, and he'll lap that shit right up.
Yes,
I'll take
all
it.
about it.
Just take it home.
And you know what? And then he'll write you and tell you if there is a haunting to it, or if you just sold him a Raggedy Andy,
Yes.
or gave him a Raggedy Andy, or whatever means of exchange you guys deal with. That's between you. But he'll tell you if it is haunted, and if you've got some something going on at your house that has you a little hair standing up on the back of your neck or whatever, jump on there, get a hold of them. You can get the process. Maybe they can come down and help you out, help alleviate some of your tortures.
Yeah, if you have just questions.
Yeah,
you know?
they're very, very nice.
I've noticed a lot of people just kind of post questions, and then there's a ton of people that just kind of follow up. It's like I said, it's a good place if you're looking for a tribe.
Quick on responding.
Yeah, super cool.
Yeah, they've been very, initially it started out with just an initial contact with Sarah, and from there we've got to meet now 6 wonderful people who have gone out of their way to come drive all the way out to the middle of nowhere to hang out and chat with us, and thank you very much.
Of course.
Yeah, it's pretty
Thanks
cool.
for having us.
Yeah,
it's
thank you
pretty
very
cool.
much.
And future events, let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
let us know.
Keep you informed.
We'll bring you back on, or we'll plug them on, one of our shows, or
Yep.
whatever.
Yep,
Very cool.
definitely. And now plug for the other show. If you're in Tooele and interested in the political side, the demon side, the politics, go check out the Tooele Happy Hour. We just got done talking to our Democrat congressional candidate last night.
Kale.
Yep, had a good chat with him. He's a
cool
good
guy.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy. And check that out. And tomorrow night we are talking with a communist. Wanna hear what they have to say?
Please join in for this conversation.
Yeah, that'll be good. And everyone knows that I can get a little.
He's animated when it comes to politics.
Yeah, but
I don't do that show with him. Him and his buddy David Weiss do that. They do a great job.
It's a good time.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Good time. But anyways, yeah, and we do. Advertising is open. If you guys want to, you can contact us through Facebook or the Wild Pod or the Happy Hour, and advertising will spread across the network. And we've also got another show in the works once I get that fire lit.
That's right.
All right, but thanks for joining us, everybody. Let's give a shout out to Nayt and Lindsey and thank them for coming on. Thank them for being, extremely gracious to drive all the way down here from.
Share that. Oh,
yeah,
creepiness.
Yes, and thank them for taking Betsy's.
Thank you for taking the creepy
Dolly.
doll.
I want to name the doll.
Well, what would you call it?
I don't know. Drop Dead Fred. Yeah. But thanks for joining us, and we will.
See you next week.
Wild Pod will be back on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yep. Have a very good week.
Have a great week.
All right. So we do have. I've got new mics coming, so we won't have to